So you can see this tweet says, RR Colony 5's police siren just went off 100 feet from me. I'm out of sight. Let's see if they or anyone approaches me using any excuse. Then I put today's date and time. Okay, today's date is October 9th, 2014. It's now 1:53 p.m. The police siren just went off right on the other side of these fucking trees. Literally, just now. I'm at RR Colony 5, and I'm getting ready to hide some property now. Listen, they had some individuals engaging in cleaning up dead trees and shit, not too far from my area where I dropped property off at the last time I was here. And I have made numerous audio files stating what type of normal appearing excuses they would use in order to try and say that, in order to try and at least psychologically motivate me to go to somewhere else. Okay. See, I go to a certain place and drop off property. Through the tracking of me and my cell phone, they can see where I'm at by vectoring the GPS location of my phone. When they witness how long I'm there, and they already know that I'm moving, because cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. So they're just deducing what I'm doing. I leave the area where I brought the property from to this area and the other area I'm referring to. Through GPS tracking on my phone, they can see where I'm at pertaining to the fixed location because when you're mobile, they can see you moving, and then when you stop to hide your property, they can see you're stationary. And then as a result of them continuing to fix in on your phone using GPS coordinates, they can tell how long you're in the position where you stopped at. Now, since they know, I already know they know that I'm moving. Okay. So what I did was I made predictions in audio files and even some video files stating me deconstructing what they might structure, so they can make it appear that they got normal appearing reasons to know that either I'm here or my property is here. So they can come in my environment, including even being at the places before I arrive. Okay? Because let me just put it to you this way. Every day before I leave a certain area to go where I'm going, I'll make a statement in my tape recorder where I'm going for the day. Now, as a result of them engaging in complete cyber surveillance, that can be Googled at gang stalking. You can go to Google and type in gang stalking and cyber surveillance, okay? And you'll see that they hack into targeted individuals' email accounts, blog accounts, YouTube accounts, phone, computer, everything and anything. So as a result, they're doing this for surveillance purposes in order to ascertain the information pertaining to what's already in it and what the target's doing currently with it. So through my YouTube videos, they know I was preparing to move. Hold on. Now, through my YouTube videos, they know I was preparing to move. And let me just put it to you this way. I caught the same exact identical gang stalking verbal harassment happening around me inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters that I caught at UCSD. Okay? And it was UCSD that came to my other hiking area to evict me to move. Okay? I'm all over the internet exposing SDPD and UCSD. Do the math. Okay? So in gang stalking, what they do is create the homelessness of a target, and they'll stalk a target from apartment to apartment to apartment to motel room to motel room to motel room, and you can Google all of this to see I'm telling you the truth. So if they'll do this, do you honestly think they won't gang stalk a target to their hiking area? Yeah. So through the current tracking of my phone, they can see where I'm at by vectoring the GPS. They can see how what routes I'm taking to get to it, where I stop at, how long I'm at the location where I stopped at, and they're just deducing she's taking her property here because we're connected to the ones who got participated in the moving of her. It doesn't matter how SDPD acts like they don't know who I am. It doesn't matter how much they say this woman's crazy if she thinks that I gang stalked her here. It doesn't matter, because filthy lying whore cops ain't gonna tell the truth. Of course they're not. Okay? The point being is this, is that what they do, so what I did was I take a look at, okay, where I'm going, what I'm going to be using for emergency places to stay at 1 or 2 nights, maybe a week, and then move on to another spot. Well, I got to drop the property off at the spot so I don't have to carry everything that I use for camping all at one time, because that's part of their goal, is to wear you out in the moving, okay? Case in point, last week, in fact it was early this week, they flattened my tires 3 times at my hiking area so I couldn't carry any property with me to any place. It jammed me up for 2.5 days. So the point being is this: I bring property here. I look at the kind of environment this is. I'm not going to say what kind of environment it is, because then that's disclosing too much to them, and then that way they can say that's how they knew I was here. That's why I code the areas and then predict what they're going to do. But as a result of me knowing what kind of area I'm in, then that makes me aware of the normal appearing excuses that they could use for it, and the type of employment descriptions that could be attached to be used for the staged event. Okay, like let me just put it to you this way. Say if you, I'll give a for instance. Say if it's like a park. Well, what kind of people go into a park? Utility company personnel, park rangers, park volunteer service members. This is just to say if it was a park. Okay, that's what they would do. So what then I would do is think to myself, okay, now what are the kind of jobs that these people do as a result of having these jobs? Cut down trees, cut down fallen trees, cut down trees that are dead and haven't fallen yet, landscape work, volunteer park service members, utility company personnel that might be in the park to check on the power lines, individuals that might be using the park for normal appearing reasons, homeless people that might be in the park already camping. So what I'll do is deconstruct what normal appearing type of excuse and person that they might use for it. Since this is organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level, they can basically get anybody to do anything for them based on a lie. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger," okay? And you'll see in part how they operate and how they can use anybody. Construction workers, utility company personnel, park rangers, they're already all over the internet in reference to other targeted individuals, exposing them pertaining to how they've been used against them. So what I do is I predict how these little filthy rats are going to act before at a separate location, before I even leave that location to come to the area where I'm going to be dropping property off at. Now, the way I usually like to hide property is to hide it completely out of sight, but it's hard for me to do that because of, let me just put it to you this way. I know you're not going to understand it, but just trust me on this. One of the ways that I like to hide my property completely out of sight is by creating a area, and then in the way that it's created, it will be completely out of sight. As a result, nobody would have any type of logical explanation pertaining to why it would be missing. Okay? But since I can't do that right now because of the weather, is contributing to me not being able to do it. And I'm totally aware you're not understanding what I'm saying, but just trust me. The point being is this: since I got to hurry up and get all my shit moved from the other location to these areas, and since the weather is compromising my physical ability to create the security provisions that I am using at the other area, okay, I got to just bring the shit here, hide it underneath dead trees way back in the woods, and then come back and get it at a later date, then take it with me by piecemeal to the areas that I'm going to use, and then create the security provisions at that time, because then I'll have more free time. I won't be so pressured in having to go back to the other spot and hurry up and get that shit out of there, because creating these security provisions, it takes time, because the weather is totally compromising my ability to do it. Now, again, I know you don't understand what that means, but eventually I'm going to have to disclose it, which I will, and then you'll completely understand. The point being is this: what they will do is use any normal apparent excuse and reason to prop up people to be in my physical presence, so they can be used as a buffer between me, the police, and if it, like, say if it was a park rangers, park volunteer service members, utility company personnel, homeless people, neighbors, or anybody else that might just be in the area pretending like they're enjoying the park. Because the police and or park rangers or park volunteer service members, they would prefer to have a buffer between me and them, including using a neighbor, or the police saying that an anonymous person called them and saw me. Do you see how it works? That way they can approach me, give me a ticket, Okay, because illegal syndicated probate control is part of why they create the homelessness. And in order to get the probate control, they got to be able to have police reports about your long-term homelessness, how they also call you delusional because you think you're being stalked by people you don't know, even though you are being gang stalked. But since the police are directly connected to gang stalking, they play their role by using their employment descriptions to do these things. It's the police reports, the doctor reports, and the social services documentation. They work all together to petition the court to take legal custody of you, so they can co-opt your existing finances and or apply for federal, state, and local funds in your name. And that's the reason why the homelessness is created to begin with. They're able to stage the events towards you and use people as a buffer between the target and the police as a result of the surveillance. You understand? So the whole thing is tracking to surveil, to prop up the street theaters, which are the staged events. The street theaters act as a buffer between the target and the police, so the police can make it look like they got a normal apparent reason to come to you in order to give you that ticket or the incident report number. And then you either got to show up in court, or they'll just wait until a lot of them come about, and then they'll pull one major event and arrest you. And then at that time, they'll start trying to achieve the objective pertaining to why the homelessness was created to begin with. That's right. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm all over the internet exposing SDPD. Okay, and UCSD. So do you honestly think that they're not? This will be the 5th hiking area I've been gang stalked to, literally. Okay, all right. I gotta go. I gotta do what I gotta do today, and then I'm gonna get out of here. If anybody approaches me as I'm hiding this property right here today, and if it's stolen when I come back to get it, it'll be gang stalking, guaranteed. And I was here. Hang on. Now, I was here in the same exact property about, I don't know, last week, and I dropped some property off, okay? No, it was actually, when was it? Day before yesterday, I think it was. And I dropped some property off and hid it underneath a dead tree. So we're gonna see if they come and steal it by using, because if they come down here and chainsaw a tree that had fallen, okay, all they have to do is say, look, we came down here to do this business, okay, because it's part of our employment description. That way they can say your property shouldn't have been here to begin with. Do you understand? That way they get to take my shit, less stuff for me to depend on, and money and the cost to replace it. Because the whole goal for them is to wear you out financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, like wearing out a pair of blue jeans. Taking everything you got, putting you in destitute situations to the point to where you don't even have nothing left. So then, and then they'll start propping people up along your path, or acting like they care and giving you resources to depend on, resources that they're involved in from behind the scenes. Homeless shelters for you to go to. You see what I'm saying? They did the same shit towards me in Michigan and Connecticut. That's right. I literally seen women being human trafficked before my very eyes using these methodologies, literally. All right, I gotta go. So as soon as I turn off this video camera, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide this property. I'll take a video picture of it being hid, okay? And then what I'll do is leave the area. And if anybody fucking approaches me about anything concerning the whole entire time while I am on this property, I don't give a flying fuck how they act verbally, who they are, what they say, or what excuse they use. It'll be gang stalking. Because think about this. I'm way back here in the fucking woods. Why would a police siren go off? It went like, this is how it sounded. It went like this. And then it stopped. Just like that. That's how long it took. And it was literally practically right on the other side of these bushes. It's their way to let me know that they know I'm here. And it was caught on tape recorder. Okay? There should be no reason at all why any police officer should be, okay, parked right on the other side of these bushes, tooting his siren. There should be no reason, not unless they got some sensors up in here, okay? And even if that was the case, come on. I mean, come on. You know, so basically what I'm just doing is I'm basically just hiding the property, leaving it here, then I'm going to completely leave the area, and we're going to see if any fucking buddy approaches me, and we're going to see if it's stolen when I come back, including the property that I dropped off 3 days ago. Because all they got to do is say, look, we came down here. I won't even ever have this discussion with them, because they'll take the shit, and they're never gonna say that the person stole it, and even if they or that the person took it, and even if they did, they'll just say you're not supposed to be leaving property in the park. That's right. That's right. This is the evil bullshit of these little filthy animals. And check this out. I literally made an audio file stating that they were going to do this, that they were going to bring people down up in the park, okay, have them act like they're here just to cut down dead trees and shit, and then act like they're stumbling across me as I'm hiding property, as I'm retrieving the property, or as I'm near the property camping or on my way to it. I literally to a T, I swear to God, had made audio files pertaining to this. And today I had to come to this area because they were at the area that I went to the other day to drop property off at. Yeah. And guess who's also part of it? Sandy, I'm not going to say anymore because then that's disclosing where the area is going to be at. All right, I got to go. I got stuff to do. So let's see if anybody approaches me as I'm doing this. Today's date is October 9th, 2014.